One country is so concerned about population growth. Here are the aggressive measures it's looking at. I'm Leigh, and that's coming up on today's Daily Brief. Plus, violent crime is soaring across the nation. What's to blame? And it was one of the first high-profile transgender cases, and he detransitioned. Hear his warning. Plus, is former President Trump blaming pro-lifers for midterm losses? Well, the U.S. is hitting record-breaking immigration numbers and appears to be doing nothing about it. The most popular party in Switzerland is poised to take aggressive action to combat immigration. The SVP is pursuing a referendum that would limit its population to 10 million. The country is already rapidly approaching 9 million residents. Over the past 20 years, Switzerland's population has increased by 21%, according to Summit News. The explosive growth is exhausting Switzerland's financial reserves for education, health, and transport. The proposed referendum says if the country reaches 10 million, the government must respond with rigorous measures, including the Federal Council abandoning international agreements, such as the UN Migration Pacts or EU treaties relating to free movement. While homicides have taken a slight dip, violent crime is up across the U.S. The Washington Times reviewed data from police departments across the nation and found crimes like robbery, rape, and assault have soared since before the pandemic. Violent crime went up 41% in Chicago and 23% in New York year over year. Police officers and criminal justice specialists say one reason violent crime is up is departments are spread thin. Other reasons are soft on crime prosecutors and a struggling economy. An early transgender pioneer is rejecting today's gender ideology, according to Just the News. Walter Heyer was one of the first high-profile transgender women when he transitioned 4 decades ago, but he has long since transitioned back to male. He now rejects that anyone can truly be transgender, saying there's always an underlying issue. For him, he says it was psychological abuse from his grandmother, cross-dressing him from an early age and being molested at age 9. Heyer says seeing a gender specialist in the 1980s ruined his life. Now he says he wants to save children who are being targeted for the ideology.
They know what they're doing is going to destroy that child's life. That's why they don't tell the parents. When people say they're transgender, we say, no, you're not. When people say they're transitioning, no, you can't. When people say they have gender dysphoria, I say, no, you don't. See, if we use their language, we are giving them power to destroy our nation.
Former President Trump has faced criticism from the GOP for the underwhelming midterm results. A New York Times midterms analysis found Trump's preferred candidates performed 5 points worse than generic Republicans in U.S. House races. But Trump says it's not his fault we didn't see a red wave for the midterms. Here's what he posted on Truth Social. I was 233-20. It was the abortion issue poorly handled by many Republicans, especially those that firmly insisted on no exceptions, even in the case of rape, incest, or life of the mother, that lost large numbers of voters. PJ Media says Trump is turning against his supporters with this statement. It says the singular achievement of the Trump presidency was the appointment of 3 pro-life Supreme Court justices who finally rid the nation of Roe v. Wade, which even the left's Supreme Court heroine, Ruth Bader Ginsburg, acknowledged was poorly reasoned, on thin, at best, constitutional foundations, and simply bad law. It would be reasonable to think that any candidate responsible for such an achievement would run on it, and run on it hard. But Trump is busy running the other way. PJ Media also notes Ron DeSantis vowed to expand pro-life protections and then won nearly 60% of the vote to be re-elected governor of Florida. Some polls now show DeSantis with double-digit leads over Trump for the 2024 presidential race. But DeSantis has not announced a bid for president. So to wrap up, Switzerland is ready to get aggressive about immigration in an effort to reduce its population. Violent crime is up across the nation. One of the first to transition from male to female has detransitioned and is now speaking out against transgender ideology. And Trump is now blaming pro-lifers for GOP midterm losses. To learn more, be sure to go to AmericanFaith.com and subscribe to our daily newsletter. For American Faith, I'm Krist.